This podcast mentions alcohol and has adult content. Not suitable for children or the faint at heart. For entertainment purposes only. This is the Tales of a Small Town Bartender podcast. You have been warned.
Hey everyone, this is Toni.
This is Sean. Welcome back to another episode. Glad to have you back, and glad to be talking with you all again. How are things?
Good.
Any? I was going to say we haven't asked about your haunted place in the last few weeks. Any developments there?
Nothing.
What do you got going on? Anything new?
As in haunting? No. I did read a ghost story on my Kindle that I finished the other night, and I was like, I probably shouldn't read ghost stories while I'm living in a place that might be haunted.
Maybe tempting fate. Dangerous path to go down, no doubt. So doing well, I imagine.
Yes.
That's good to hear. How's business?
Good. I do have a story about the business, though.
Yeah, we can talk about that. First, I want to give some consumer advice.
Okay.
So, you know Costco, right? You have Costco where you're at, I'm assuming.
I don't have Costco here. There's one in Connecticut.
All right. Well, Costco, I mean, there's a lot of Costco. People that listen probably are very familiar with Costco, and Sam's Club as well. I'm guessing Sam's Club is going to be very prominent as well. But there, remember when we were kids and there was, let's see, one of the biggest shopping markets that our parents used to always get groceries from was ShopRite.
Yes.
And ShopRite always had the ShopRite brand of things, right?
Yes.
It was just like it was supposed to be generic. But if you looked at the can, you could see that there were, like if you had ShopRite macaroni and cheese, and you looked at the back, you could see packaged by Kraft.
Yeah.
So you're not actually getting a generic one. You're actually getting Kraft macaroni and cheese in a different box with a different color and a different label, but it's all the same shit.
Right.
So Costco and Sam's Club both do this, but I had an article that shows a bunch of different. I read an article that showed a bunch of different things that Costco has that I was really surprised by. Some things that, I mean, there was a whole shitload of stuff that I was like, who cares? Who even uses that? But there were some things that were kind of shocking, and I thought I'd talk about it so that people, if you do live by a Costco or a Sam's Club, this would be pretty relevant for you as well.
I go to Sam's Club, yes. I can't wait to hear this.
Yeah, these are things that you can look for where you're still going to get the premium label for the discounted amount.
Okay.
In gross quantity, right? So one of the things that Kirkland sells, Kirkland is Costco's brand. What is Sam's Club brand? Do you know offhand?
Members Mark.
Members Mark.
Yep.
Okay, so one of the things that, and I bet Members Mark does this as well, but one of the things Kirkland has is Starbucks coffee. Starbucks ground and whole bean coffee with a Kirkland label on it. And in some cases, such as this one, it'll even say right on the cover in big font, brought to you by Starbucks or something to that effect. It says it right on it.
Wow. I never checked the coffee.
Yeah, if you're gonna pay half the price of Starbucks, but still get, the Starbucks coffee just with a different name on it. And I know when we were kids, it was like, oh, everybody wore like what, Sassoon jeans, right? Levi's obviously, but it was like Sassoon jeans.
Yeah.
And mom was always like, yeah, those jeans right there are the same as Jordache. They just don't have the Jordache label on it, but they're Jordache. It would lie the hell out of you. Just to get you to, wear the cheap brands. Did you ever have that problem?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cheap sneakers was another thing that mom used to try to pull the wool over your eyes.
Yeah.
Sheds or something. I can't remember the brands, but I always remember like, man, I'm wearing all that cheap stuff and everybody's gonna make fun of me, which that absolutely happened.
Hmm.
Was it as bad with women? What did in high school? What did women?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had remember the Sweetor pants with the
Oh
pocket?
yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, my mom brought me to some, I don't even know what it was, like an outlet or something, the Sweetor outlet
Yeah.
to get them because they were cheaper, you know? I don't know. My mom was a big flea market person too. The
Oh yeah,
flea
that was a
market,
big thing.
because the sneaker guy was always there, and I would always get my sneakers from the flea market because they were $20 cheaper.
Oh yeah, they were. This was the flea market. If I remember right, the flea market was at the Maybrook
Maybrook,
Drive.
yep, that's a drive-in, yep,
Yeah, and I remember that specifically because of the pickle guy.
yep, yeah, we talked
You
about
remember
him
the
once.
pickle guy?
Yeah, we
Oh,
talked
did
about
we?
him
I
once.
love
Yeah,
the pickle guy.
yeah. My mom
Pickle
used
guy was
to
amazing.
drag me there all the time.
It wasn't hard to drag me there if I could get the pickle.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, buy me $20 cheaper sneakers, but give me a damn pickle. But anyway, Starbucks is one of the things, and Duracell, Kirkland batteries are actually Duracell.
Are they?
Kirkland,
Does it say
yes,
it
yes.
says it on the it says it right on the package?
That one I would have to double check. I
I'm gonna
think
have
it
to
says
look.
it on the back.
I
Yeah,
actually have Members Mark batteries here right now. I'm gonna have to look at the package and see what they say.
just take a look. I might as well. I'll wait. No,
I can go grab them. I know right
go
where they
grab
are.
them. We'll wait.
All right, I'll
I'll
be
keep
right back.
talking while you're gone. So then there's also Kirkland jelly beans or jelly bellies are labeled Kirkland, but they're actually jelly bellies. Ocean spray juices, some Italian cheeses. That one I gotta wait for Tony to come back.
I'm back. I'm back.
All right. So they have like Italian cheeses, like oh gosh, what am I drawing a blank? Mozzarella and Parmesan and stuff like that. Some high end Italian cheeses under the Kirkland brand.
Hmm.
So how does the Sam's Club batteries check out?
It says distributed by Sam's West Inc., Bentonville, Arizona. So I'm
Damn,
guessing
damn
that
you,
these are
Sam's
not
Club.
Duracell.
Damn it, Sam's Club. Ruining my point. So Jelly Bellies, Ocean Spray Juices, Italian cheese, Starkist tuna, Hellman's mayonnaise, Newman's Own dressings, kettle chips, Huggies, and Jif peanut butter.
Well, those are all the brand
All
stuff that they have, right? Or
with
those
a
are one.
Kirkland label on
Oh, with the Kirkland label on them.
it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
so
And there's
Costco
about
is better than Sam's.
the proof is in the pudding. We just proved it.
Yeah,
Take
right?
that.
Hmm.
But there's about 40 more, like I said, that are completely useless. So, well, for me anyway. I mean, they might be useless they might be useful for other people. Like there's high end hearing aids and all different kinds of just crazy stuff. But
Huh.
pretty cool though. That's still going on with modern labels.
Well, it's the same with alcohol. The Castillo brand of rum is made at the Bacardi factory. So Bacardi makes it,
Ooh,
but it's the well rum. It's the cheap one.
gotcha. There's 10 high bourbon is still 10 high bourbon. It's probably, well, bourbons are kind of funny because they come from just a few places. They're, other than the recent rash that has popped up all over the place. I mean, you have Heaven Hill, you have the guys down in Kentucky, you have some of the guys in Tennessee, the Jack Daniels, but there's only really a core group of like 5 or 6 bourbon distillers that own like 80 or 90% of the market, if I remember right. So, your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm not really a bourbon drinker. I know that the Hudson distillery has that bourbon. Remember we talked about that?
Yes, I remember
Um,
getting a bottle.
I drove past that place when I went to Yogi Bear Campground to do a paint class. I saw the big sign at one of the turns, and I was like, "Oh, you just talked about that place." I should have stopped and got a bottle, but I didn't. It's Hudson Whiskey Gardner. That's where it is.
Gardner. There we go.
Gardner. Yep.
So Hudson Whiskey in Gardner, New York. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I've had that before. It's okay. I mean, it's not great, but there's a lot of offshoots that came up to the bourbon people, and there's even one in Iowa, Templeton Rye and Templeton bourbon, which is actually pretty good. But it's hard to compete when you're competing with Jack Daniels and Jim Beam and Evan Williams and all these guys that have been around for hundreds of years, and now here you come into the market with your brand new bourbon, trying to get your piece of the pie. But yeah, there's Hudson Distillers too, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then those guys in Gardner, New York. All right, so speaking of, this is a good segue into an issue.
An issue?
Yeah, major issue.
Okay.
So legislation is currently being worked in multiple states. Utah has already passed it. Hawaii is in the process of passing it. And the bill is currently in committee in the state of Washington in the Northwest. But the law I'm talking about is changing the drunk driving limit from 0.08 to 0.05.
Oh, wow.
Immediate thoughts.
That's going to be bad. Everyone's going to get arrested.
So the biggest problem I have with it, and it's the question, and of course they're like, oh, it's going to save lives. Oh, it's going to generate revenue. Oh, wait, they don't say that. They just say save lives, right? But it's going to generate revenue. But the biggest problem I have with it is that how many people have caused issues between 0.05 and 0.08.
Right.
If you can't give me that statistic, then this is just a fuck all money grab. That's all this is.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
So at 0.08, and then did you somebody blow 0.06 and you release them? Not always, because I know in the state of Iowa, even if you blow 0.06, the cop can still take you in for public impound.
Oh.
Even though you're not over the legal limit, he'll still arrest you.
So you said this is going through in Iowa and where else?
Utah already has passed it.
Utah.
I think it passed the Senate in Hawaii and is going to the House or vice versa. And then they're still creating the bill that's in committee in Washington State.
Wow.
It's already passed in a lot of European countries, and that's what they're also saying is that, oh, they have it in Europe. Why should we have it here? So, yeah, it's just a bad idea. I mean, yeah, don't drink and drive, but the people that are danger behind the wheel, and nobody wants to talk about this. The people that are danger behind the wheel are not 0.08. They're not even 0.09. They're your 0.16s,
right,
your 0.24s, and even I watched some cop videos on YouTube, 0.3 plus. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You definitely should not be behind the wheel at like 1.16 or even 0.12. Some people can't handle the liquor, but I guess it's hard to set the bar for everyone level. But 0.05 is ridiculous. That's 2 drinks.
Right. I have to say, everybody's different too. Like, I know people that will have 1 drink and they're drunk. And I know people that can do 6 shots and they're not drunk. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's different.
Body weight, metabolism,
right,
liver damage, all of these things working too well. I mean, it's true. If your liver is damaged and fatty, it can't process alcohol. So your alcohol stays in your system for a little bit longer than what it should. And if you keep pounding the drinks on, then yeah, you're going to get drunk. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's impossible for an individual to measure. And MAD has gotten out of control. While I'm like, please don't kill me as a drunk driver, and please don't kill anybody else as a drunk driver. Who in their right mind would not support that? You, everybody, it's common sense. You
Yeah.
don't drive drunk,
Yeah.
you know? But MAD has gotten out of control now where it's like, hey, either you consent to a breathalyzer or a blood test, or you lose your license for a year automatically.
Yep. I know somebody that happened to too.
So you're telling me that I can't get my own blood test to verify your blood test like I can with every other crime in the United States, except for drunk driving. Like if it's a murder, I can get a blood sample and take it to my lab to have it tested. Or DNA, I can take it to my lab and have it tested. DUI, OWI, no. You either go right now with our shit, or you lose your license for a year immediately. Guilty
Yeah.
before proven it.
Yeah. That's true.
And it's like I was saying, in Iowa, they can even take you in if you're, zero point 0.04 or 0.02 behind the
0.02.
wheel. Yeah. Anything over 0.00.
So if you just have a couple sips of a glass of wine, you're gonna get brought in.
0.01, you can absolutely get brought in.
That's crazy.
Absolutely can. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Yeah, MAD has gotten out of control. MAD has been given, basically free reign over everybody's rights in this country, and this is what they're doing with it. And now they're lowering it down to 0.05 because of all the deaths and all the people laying in the gutter that have blown 0.06. Because 0.08 is not enough. Absolutely ridiculous. So just know that's coming. Because and I imagine New York probably won't be far behind on that. That's just the way New York rolls. California too, same thing.
Yep.
Man, they love their legislation, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, not to be a bummer and then roll right into your bar story. What's been going down at the bar? Hold on. First of all, let me do a little transition piece here. What is the name of your painting classes?
The name? Art Party.
Yeah.
Art
What's
Party.
that?
It's Art Party.
Art Party.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like Art Party with Toni or just Art Party?
It's just Art Party. On my website it says Art Party by Toni. But
Okay,
yeah.
Art Party by Toni.
Because I couldn't get
I
couldn't get the website artparty.com because they wanted $4,000 for it. Somebody else bought it and wants to sell it for $4,000. So I'm artpartytoni.com.
Is it a porn site?
No, it's not. There's just nothing there. They just bought it and they're holding it for hostage. They want $4,000 to give it up.
Yeah, they're squatting on the URL.
Yeah. Yep.
Outstanding. Yeah, how about no? Sit on it. Okay. So the reason why I asked that, so if I go search an art party on Facebook, I can find your art party painting classes. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When's the next one coming up?
Sunday.
So you have one Sunday. Is there any availability?
Yes.
How many seats you have left?
Wow, you coming?
No, I'm trying to advertise your business for you, Toni.
Oh.
This is a commercial break.
Okay. There's probably 6 or so seats left.
So 6 or 7 seats left, and what place is it at?
At the bar I work at, Giorgio's.
There we go. Go to Giorgio's on Sunday, or go to Facebook and sign up for it, and then you could do a little bit of art party stuff. Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I thought maybe you were coming in New York.
No, not yet. Maybe I don't know, but not right now. Got a little bit of travel plan, but not direction yet. But anyway, so on to your bar story. What happened?
Speaking of police, no, I'm only kidding.
Oh boy.
So
Oh boy.
this story started a long, long time ago, back on episode
tell.
2 of the podcast, and I don't
Wow.
believe
Okay.
I don't believe you ever listened to that episode. It was
I think I did, but it's long escaped my memory. So
it was
please,
the one
for the sake of
called
me.
well, it was the one called the 911 caller. Does that ring a bell?
No, not off the top of my head, but for the
Okay.
sake of me and the listeners, do you refresh our memories?
So there was a guy that I never saw before. It was a Tuesday night.
Mhm.
Pool League was there. Guy I never saw
Okay.
before comes in the bar, orders a drink. He's wearing a trench coat, which is kind of
Oh, boy.
weird. Yeah,
Weird.
kind of weird. But I'm like, whatever. People are weird around here anyway. But I can see he's drunk. So, I gave him a short drink. I didn't give him a big one. Just keeping an eye on him. He goes and sits at the table with the other pool team that's in the bar from another bar. And
Good
there's
question.
like 4 girls sitting at the table, and he sits right in between them all. So I'm like, all
Between
right,
the 4 girls.
yeah. So I'm like, oh, he must
Quick
be with them.
question. Quick question.
What?
Did he have a small dog and a granddaughter named Penny with him?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
There was
Just
no
check.
granddaughter, but wait,
Right.
what's that
I
reference?
just wanted to see. If you had Inspector Gadget in your bar.
Oh,
You just didn't recognize him.
Penny. Yeah, I remember that. My granddaughter's name is Penny.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
I think Penny was Inspector Gadget's niece, not his granddaughter. But
Yeah, I think it was a niece.
anyway,
Anyway,
so the guy sits between 4
he
people.
sits between the girls and at the
Okay.
table, so I assume he's on that pool team. That's why he's in the bar. He's with them. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I stop keeping an eye on him. Then he gets up and he goes and sits at the table with my pool team. I'm on one of the pool teams. And I'm like, well, that's weird. And why is he sitting at our table? So I go back there and I say to Ed, one of the guys on my pool team, do you know this guy? And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, that's weird. Why is he sitting here? And he's like, I don't know. So then I walked over to the other team's table and I said, do you guys know that guy over there? And they're like, no. And I'm like, none of you know him? He just sat here with you guys for like 15 minutes. And they're like, yeah, he's really weird. He was hitting on us and blah, blah, blah. She's going on. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to ask him to leave. So Eddie's brother was up at the bar and one of the other regulars. I told them what was going on, and they asked him to leave. And he had a little attitude. They got him outside. They walked him outside, and as soon as he gets out the door, he takes his cell phone out and he dials 911. And one of the guys comes in and says he's calling the cops. And I'm like, well, why is he calling the cops? Because you kicked him out of the bar. You kicked him out of the bar. So I'm like, he's calling 911. Like, that's the emergency number. It's an emergency that I kicked him out of the bar. Do you know they sent 3 police cars there? 3 police cars because I kicked him out of the bar.
What did he tell him? He had to tell him something like, she's assaulting me with a baseball bat.
No, he just said that he got kicked out. And he didn't know why he got kicked out. So the police officer comes in and asks why he got kicked out. And I said, he's drunk. He's acting strange with the women and he's making them uncomfortable. And he doesn't need to be here.
Good. So, I'm glad you let your shit down. Yeah.
So I had changed the name. I didn't want to say his name on here.
It's okay. That's okay.
So
good.
Anyway, that's where the story started.
Okay. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago.
We're gonna call him Greg. So,
Greg.
He then came in the Friday after that. So this was a Tuesday when that happened, and he came in the side door, and he sat at the farthest table all the way back. There's 8 tables, and I didn't see him come in and sit back there. But one of the guys that walked him out saw him and told me he was there, and I looked up and I said, Greg, is that you? And he picked his head up and I was like, no, you gotta go. You gotta go. Bye. So he still had the trench coat on and everything. He got up, he left. He's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause problems, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, I'm not serving you. You gotta go. You called the cops on me, dude. Get out. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, Inspector Greg, get out.
Yeah. So months go by. Months go by. He comes to one of my paint classes. I didn't know it was
Oh
him.
God,
Well,
no.
listen, at another bar, I didn't know it was him. He wasn't in the trench coat. He was, it looked like he got his hair cut maybe. I didn't know it was him. I didn't recognize him. He sat in the first chair right in front of me.
I'm stressing out.
Right
I'm
in front of
still
me.
stressing
You're stressing
Yeah.
out?
I am totally.
He was totally fine at the paint class. Everything went smooth. Everything was good. I find out that he's a cousin of one of my regulars that comes in, and everything's fine. So then he comes to the bar like a week later, and he sits at the bar and he's drunk again. And I'm like,
Oh.
dude. And now I know who he is. I know he's one of my regulars. Actually, it's a friend of mine's cousin. He doesn't really talk to him, but his I was trying to be nice because he's related to him, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know it was the original guy yet. I still didn't know this. His son comes to get him because he's drunk, and I didn't want him driving. So that was good.
Yeah.
He left. Everything was fine. And then it hit me when he was talking about buying the bar. That's what he was talking about the first time he was in when I kicked him out. And it hit me when he was walking out the door. Something he said clicked in my head, and I was like, that is the same dude that called the cops on me. Right. So I was like, oh, this is weird.
You
So
son of a bitch.
now he left already. So I didn't say anything to him. So I had told his cousin, because he comes in a lot when I'm there, all the crap that was going on. And I took off of work last Friday because I had my granddaughter overnight. Well, apparently he came to the bar looking for me, and he had an attitude, and I wasn't there, and he was fighting with people, and he's now kicked out of the bar for good forever because the bar manager was working that night.
Good.
And I said, oh, my stalker came in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, be careful with this one, for real.
But isn't it crazy? It's just,
that is.
it's like an ongoing story with this one.
Yeah, just be careful with this one. This might be a court admitted evidence, and I hope that's never the case. But gosh, when you get guys that are this odd, man, they're wild cards. You never know what to expect from them. But hoping for the best. Just be careful. And sorry, I advertised your paint class now.
No. There's another thing. He went to school with my husband.
Oh, really?
He knows.
So your husband's familiar with him.
He knows my husband. They're Facebook friends. After he went to the bar looking for me, he messaged my husband and asked if he wanted to meet for coffee.
Oh, brother.
I'm like, what?
Gonna end well.
I'm right.
That's not going to end well.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? He's got a death wish.
There's something wrong with the guy.
Yes, I there has to be. Definitely.
Yeah, there is. Just be careful. That's all. Both you and your husband, both. Oh gosh. That all right. There we go. Strange people at the bar.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go the route with the New York versus. Let's see how many times we got to press the random state generator to find a state we haven't picked. And I'm gonna press it now. Rhode Island. Oh God, I have a fear crawling up my spine. We do Rhode Island.
No, we didn't do Rhode. Oh no, we did.
Delaware.
We did do Rhode Island. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was Delaware.
Yep.
That's right. West Virginia.
Ooh, West Virginia. Nope, no West Virginia.
Okay, let's check another one off the list. West Virginia. What do you know about
it? It's always the brunt of the joke.
Mason-Dixon line comes to mind.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I've never been to West Virginia. I've been to Virginia, but never West Virginia.
Driven through West Virginia.
I don't even know. Nothing. I'd have to look up. Have you ever been there?
I drove through it on the way to somewhere else. Apparently, that was more important.
I don't know if I've ever even driven
Ridge
through it.
Mountain? Was it the Blue Ridge Mountains? I think are there. And They were beautiful. It was a beautiful mountain range. It was a very beautiful state, but that's really all I remember of it, other than, like I said, the Mason-Dixon line. That shit is true. So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
looking it up,
really
I
want
don't
to
even see anything.
I don't want to disparage people from another state, but that's a different breed. That's a different breed
Exactly.
of people there.
Exactly.
So I'm definitely going New York on this one.
Oh, definitely.
Sorry, West Virginia. Sorry if you have a jacked up pickup truck and a banjo. My bad.
It looks very pretty. I googled it.
It's gorgeous. It's a very pretty state. You just filled it with weird people.
Maybe I should go visit, or maybe Greg should go there.
Hey, Greg, have you been to West Virginia?
Oh boy.
So anyway, we're alcohol laws in West Virginia, and West Virginia bars are illegal. Can't have a bar in West Virginia.
Oh.
You can if they serve food. So you have to serve both liquor and food. So bars can advertise alcohol beverage prices, but not brand names.
Huh.
You can't be like, hey, $2 Jack and Coke. Bar illegal.
$2 Jack and Coke. Could you imagine?
Yeah. So what's a Jack and Coke run at your bar? Just curious. In New York, mind you.
A,
Just
si-
north of New York City.
a single is $6.25. A double is double.
$12.50.
Yeah.
Oh crap!
Yep.
Wow, that's
Yep.
wow.
Yes. And you know what? It's more expensive in other bars. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I can believe that. It's illegal to bring more than 10 gallons of alcohol into the state for personal use.
10
That would be
gallons is a lot.
That is a lot of liquor.
That is a lot.
I imagine then they think you're just trafficking it. Right.
Yeah, right. Losing my voice.
It's got to be what it is. That's a law left over from the distillery days of corn distilleries and guys making moonshine, I think.
Probably.
All right, so let's end it with a quote and then get out of here for the night. Let's see. What was it? Oh, I think it was Stephen Colbert. Yeah. Stephen Colbert said, they say only people who tell the truth are drunkards and children. Guess which one I am?
Well, I know how old you
I
are.
don't
So.
I don't know, Greg. Which one are you?
Yeah, right.
Anyway, that's all I have. Hey, Tales of a Small Town Bartender at gmail.com. Talesofasmalltownbartender.com is our website. You can put some gas in the show's tank and give Toni some money for putting on such a great show and a great product. We appreciate her time and effort. Buy me at coffee.com/toastb. We're on YouTube.
We are.
Toni and I were talking before the show. These episodes are these episodes are going to show up on YouTube eventually, audio only. We'll probably put some pretty pictures up there with them. I don't know what her level of effort is going to be on that, but at least the audio on the podcast at youtube.com/@toastbartender. So I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
So for Tales of a Small Town Bartender, I'm Sean.
Now I'm Toni. Be good to each other.
Be good to each other. That's right. Thanks.
You can email us at talesofasmalltownbartender@gmail.com. Check our socials. Facebook, facebook.com/talesofasmalltownbartender. Instagram, instagram.com/talesofasmalltownbar/. TikTok, @talesofabartender. Buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/toastbee.